you can make the worst situation. You can create moments of joy. You can.
Yes.
It's a choice.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it was like all fun and games. Like it
Oh,
was
no.
horrible.
Right?
But you can make moments of joy in the
Yep.
midst of horribleness.
Welcome to the Shannon McCabe Show, where we break free from our drink-obsessed culture, challenge the myths around alcohol, and redefine sobriety as the empowering choice it truly is. I'm Shannon McCabe, sober coach, holistic nutritionist, and your guide to a life that feels better without booze. Whether you're newly sober, sober curious, or years into this journey, this podcast is here to give you the truth about alcohol, the tools to build lasting confidence, and the hope that a vibrant, fulfilling life is waiting for you on the other side. So grab your coffee or sparkling water and let's dive in.
Hey friends, welcome back to this week's episode of the Shannon McCabe Show. I am so excited to have one of my first guests, and Deb was one of the first accounts I started following when I came back to Instagram. I mean, this time in 2022, meaning when I was like, okay, I think this is it. Like, fingers crossed, this is going to be the time that sticks. And I stumbled upon Deb, Mocktail Mom, and was instantly drawn in, because I'm like, yes, what am I going to drink now that I'm not drinking anymore? Because those replacements were a lifeline for me in the first year. And I know everybody has a different opinion on mocktails or NA drinks. And I've always been a firm believer of like, you have to do what feels right for you. And if things trigger you, stay away. If they are a crutch that saves you, then dive into them, because that's literally what I did. And they helped me so much. So I just remember finding your account, Deb, and being like, okay, you were another mom. Your kids were a little bit older like mine. So you had a good drinking career behind you,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Kind of like I did. So I am just so excited you're here. And I really would love for you to just tell us a little bit about your story, like what your drinking was like, why you decided to quit. And then we'll get into like, how did Mocktail Mom start? How did that come to be?
How funny. Okay, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be your first guest. I didn't know. I just love you. And it's been so fun to be connected to you since those days back in 2022, which is so crazy to think of. So it's been so fun. And you came on my podcast, Thriving Alcohol Free. I think you were one of my first guests back in. So here we are sharing first guest opportunities.
Full circle. I love it.
Really full circle. Okay, so I was not a drinker growing up. I was not a party girl. Not that I didn't try stuff or whatever, but I was not, didn't party. Even like in college, I went to a small little college that wasn't into partying, to say the least. So didn't grow up with that. My parents weren't drinkers. And so it wasn't until, and actually like wine, I lived near Napa. I lived in San Francisco for a while in my late 20s, early 30s. And we used to go up to Napa and do wine tasting. We'd bring home bottles and bottles of wine, and they would collect dust. I remember this wine rack I had, and they would collect dust because I wasn't a drinker. Like I liked to, it was fun to go, and you felt sophisticated, like tasting these wines. I didn't know what I was tasting or what they were supposed to taste like, but it was fun. Yeah. But I'd bring home wine and it just sat, maybe I could have a glass of wine. I wouldn't even finish it. So this was like my 30s.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So like I wasn't, not to say that I didn't enjoy it or whatever, but it wasn't on my mind. I wasn't thinking about wine when I wasn't drinking it.
Okay.
Fast forward, went through some really hard times later in my and in my early 30s. I went through a divorce. Actually, before that, my oldest daughter, I have two girls. My oldest daughter, when she was 7, she's now 23 in the picture of health. But when she was 7, she was diagnosed with aplastic anemia. And we spent 160 nights on the pediatric oncology unit.
Wow.
So we were in and out of the hospital, like at the NIH. She was treated there for a clinical trial. And at the time, I had just come home with our new baby from China. Like I had 2 months to the day after getting off the plane from China, my older daughter, out of nowhere, my perfectly healthy 7-year-old, was admitted to the hospital and was critically ill.
Oh my God.
So like my whole life kind of got put into a blender.
Right.
And again, thankfully and truly a miracle that she is the picture of health today. Like she had 107 fever at the time. Like she had all these complications. Every complication you could possibly had, she had. But anyway, the Lord completely did a miracle in her life, and she's married now and happy and healthy. But anyway, all that to say, it was very traumatic. And after that, I'd already been having problems with my first husband. And so after that, once we were like through all that, my husband and I got divorced.
Okay.
Does not have, people think, oh, all that happened and now you got divorced. No, it was like we were already having problems. We would have gotten divorced probably a year and a half earlier.
Yeah.
It just like kind of delayed what was really happening with our marriage. Anyway, all that to say, then when the girls started going to their dads on the weekends, I had all this time by myself.
Right.
And wine became my new companion. It became my new BFF. We had just moved to this city. I lived in Louisville, Kentucky at the time. We had just come here about 4 months prior to getting separated.
Yep.
And they would go away to their dads. I didn't know anybody here. And so I started drinking. And I would spend weekends watching Housewives and drinking wine. And it just went from like wine had no place in my life to suddenly it had like not only front seat riding shotgun with me. Now she was like, Chardonnay, take the wheel. I mean, It was like, so that was kind of how it all started. And then from there, more difficult things. I had breast cancer. I went through a double mastectomy. And at that same time, both of my parents had dementia and they both passed away. Like my mom passed away like 5 weeks after my surgery.
Oh my gosh.
So there were like all these like really, really, really hard things.
Right.
Like I wasn't drinking when my daughter was in the hospital. It was just kind of like almost PTSD after that it was like, wow, drinking would be great right now. So it's just kind of all these really hard things and alcohol just started numbing the pain, It just was numbing me out, helping me relax at night, it was doing its job.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was helping I thought solve my problem, but then it ended up becoming the problem and I could not get a handle on it. Like I would promise myself, I'm just going to have a glass. Now it's like weekdays. So it's like my girls would be home and I'd be like, okay, how fast can I read these books to them so I can get them to bed? So I can get in my chair and sit in front of the TV and scroll and comment on people's things on Facebook and drink into oblivion until 2 a.m. and eat 1,000 calories and chips, right? Wow. This was what my life became. I was a single mom.
Now that you're speaking my language, that's what it was, right?
And I was like,
I think that's the ultimate relaxation and somehow also the ultimate sophistication, like a reward for doing all the good things, right? We're good moms. We're checking all the boxes and fall into the trap of believing that a reward is drinking ourselves stupid, staying up to a ridiculously late time of night, watching either the same stuff over and over or stuff we're not going to remember or both.
Totally.
And then we're like trying to deal with our own dumpster fire at 7 a.m.
Totally.
Like promising we're never going to do it again while also knowing full well we're already thinking like, do I have enough to drink tonight or do I need to run to the store?
You are like 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Every morning I woke up and then I felt like I would just drag around a U-Haul of shame of like, I did it again. I swore I wasn't going to have more than one. And I finished a bottle and a half, like what is going on? So yeah, exactly that. So I just got to the point where I was like, I do not want to keep living like this. I was coming up, I was 49 at this point when I was like, finally, like I can't take it anymore. I cannot keep living like this. And I was like, all right, I'm going to turn 50 in 2021. It was like the end of 2020. So obviously that was extra drinking.
That was just gasoline on the dumpster.
Yeah. So now let's add a little more. Now instead of waiting until 5, let's start at 3, So 2021 was coming. I was going to turn 50 and I was like, I do not want my next decade to look like this last one has. I cannot keep living like this. So I decided to just take a little break. I wanted to just take a little break. I just wanted to get back to moderating. I had no desire. Sobriety wasn't even on my radar. If you had said that to me, I would have thought you were nuts. I mean, there's no way. So December 31st, 2020, I actually went to Total Wine and I purchased a bottle of non-alcoholic wine. And I will never forget thinking, what a waste. Like, what is the point of this thing?
Right.
But I knew I wanted something to drink still that night. Like that was going to be I was going to actually use it the next day, or drink it the next day. I was like, going to start on January 1st. I ended up starting on December 31st, 2020 was my first day alcohol-free. And I didn't think I'd make it to that first weekend. I didn't think I'd make it 1 week. But I was like, if I can just take the month of January, do a little dry January, see how I feel and go back to my moderating, I'll be great.
Yep. Right.
And I just felt so good. I was like, well, let's keep going. I started my Instagram about 10 days in because I wanted to share. I was finding alcohol-free drinks. I thought I want to share those with others. They were they became the bumper rails, like you were saying.
Yes.
Like for me, they were the helpers on my alcohol-free journey. It was not a trigger for me, but I'm with you. Like if it's a trigger, obviously,
right.
Exit stage left. But like for me, it was they having alcohol-free drinks, having mocktails, non-alcoholic wine. Yep. Really, really changed my whole alcohol-free experience.
Oh my gosh, I love that, and it's so true. And it's. I mean, gosh, there's already so many things. I'm like, so many tangents we could go off on, right? But the NA stuff, because I remember when I first started sharing on Instagram, this was one of the things that like the trolls and the haters showed up and they're like, you can't call yourself sober if you're drinking NA beer. And I like, it pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I picked this NA beer up because it stopped me from picking up a real beer. Like this is winning for me. This is me doing what I need to do. And on the same vein, I purposely actually avoided NA wine for 3 months because I was worried that would trigger me because I was a wine girl. Like by the end, it was like white wine or Prosecco, 2 bottles a night. So I steered clear until Christmas. And then I made sure that I had, it was Christmas. So I'm like, I have people around me, my husband and my mom. So if I start like feeling slippery, I have people that would like just dump it down the drain. And that by that time it was fine. But oh my God, I can't count the number of days that NA beer saved me when I was like, I'm going to lose my mind. And sometimes I would chug 1 or 2 and I'm like, this doesn't feel like a loss for me because this is saving me from breaking this promise that I'm like so desperately trying to keep to myself. So again, everybody's got to figure it out from themselves, but it's like they can be such a tool. And if they're not, if it's the opposite, then you know what? There is so much other stuff out there too, right? Like
seriously, plenty of teas, plenty of dirty sodas. God, right? Drink whatever you want, people.
Dirty sodas,
there's lots of stuff.
Water, kombucha, tea, decaf iced coffee. Like there has never been a better time in human history to
be a drinker, right?
Right?
You're right. You're totally right. Yes. There's so many options. Yeah. And it really helps. It helped me surf the urge. It just helped me get through that little window where it was like, okay, like you just feel that hankering around 5 o'clock or 6, just that transition. For me, it was like going from daytime to evening. My routine was so much around like I needed a glass of something and it helped me surf the urge. So it was great.
100%. So that's how Mocktail Mom was born, right?
That's how it started. I literally just wanted to share on Instagram. And I remember thinking like, I just wanted to share about it. Gary V, I follow him. I love him. And he always says like, taste and see, try new things. If you're a writer, try a blog. If you're this, do that. And I'm like, well, I like to make videos. So like, I'll make some videos, And I remember thinking like, if like a brand would send me stuff for free, like I would lose my mind. I still get so excited. Like boxes will show. I love it. It's so much fun. I love trying new products for brands. I love it. So yes, I'm still very excited.
I love that.
But that was my first goal was like, I just wanted to like, if I could get free stuff to try on Instagram.
Oh my gosh. I love that. That's true. I seriously remember when I hit 2,000 followers and could apply to be an affiliate for Ritual Tequila because that was like, Ritual is like some of my favorite stuff.
That was my first.
My go-to brand because I can find it in stores in my tiny little town. But you would have thought it was Christmas. Like I was so freaking excited.
Same. When they followed me on Instagram because they DM'd me, I commented about something and then they commented back and I was like, feel free to follow. I think I had like 1,000 followers.
Right.
And I screenshot it. I still have the screenshot of Ritual Zero Proof followed you. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I remember where I was. I was in Nashville, Tennessee in a hotel. I was so excited. So exciting.
I love it though, because those are the things it was. It's like we're trying to build this new life, literally like a new life. And so you got to take like every win that you can, right?
Yeah,
with
and
like
have fun
no
along
shame,
the way.
like no shame, no embarrassment. It's like we pulled ourselves we pulled ourselves out of what we did, and get excited about what you need to get excited about.
Totally. So it's been really fun. It's been really, really fun. Yeah,
I love that. And so now, and you have a book now too. Like it's turned into. Which I love. It's
thank you.
So
That's
good.
so sweet of you. Thank you. It's just a recipe book, and I share just little stories and stuff about just being a mom and having hot flashes, and we need, frozen mocktails. And I have a whole chapter on mules for days, like 7 mocktail mules, because they're very easy mocktail to make.
Right.
So it's called the happiest hour.
Mocktails really they can be as fancy or as simple as you need them to be. And I personally, it depends on the day, right? There are some times where I'm like, no, sparkling water with a juice and maybe a slice of lime. That's all we're doing today. But then, parties or holidays or things like that, it's like, why can't we have cute drinks? We absolutely deserve to have something that's still cute or fun or sophisticated or like whatever you're feeling.
Totally. Yep. This is, like you said, it's the best time to not be a drinker. There's so many options. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So to get into, like I said, we could talk about all of this all day. And I love your story because, like I said, I was just drawn to you. You're so down to earth and you're so relatable and you just keep it real, right? Like that's what
we have to.
Right? And I know like that's what people are coming, that's what people come to social media for. We don't want the BS. We need the who is like me? And so when I saw you, I'm like, she's another mom. She's got kids. She used to love wine. She sounds like she loved wine like I did.
Totally.
And what are we doing? What are we doing now? But so then fast forward to where we are right now, 2025. I've been really following you this summer and just keeping you in my heart and praying for you as you became an empty nester and just thinking about that because I know for me, like I was saying before we got started, a lot of the conversations that I know resonate with, whether it's my followers on Instagram, it's people that found me on the pod and send me emails here. It's talking about how we still do life, right? Because when for me, when they hear I'm a homeschool mom, I'm a special needs mom, I work from home, it's like, but how do you do that and not need to shut your brain off at 4 p.m.? And I'm like, oh, I still do. I just don't do it with alcohol anymore.
Yeah.
And when days are big and days are hard and life is life, it's like we have other skills we've developed in sobriety. So I would love for you to just share a little bit about what this huge life transition, becoming an empty nester, has been like and how you've navigated it without turning back to alcohol.
Well, we're a month in. I've made it 1 month. It's so funny. It's like you're thinking about your whole life, right? It's like, oh, and my kids go, it's this whole thing, right?
Yep.
This is like on the horizon. The whole time you're a mom, like the whole time that you're mothering your children at home, you're thinking like there's this thought of like they're leaving the house one day. And I can't tell you how strange it was. Like I knew this day was coming. And, we planned, my daughter's down at Murray State in Southern Kentucky. So she's like 3.5 hours away. So driving home and stuff. And for whatever reason, I wasn't as emotional as I thought I was going to be. But I think that's because the lead up had been so emotional. And I was so I think I wasn't as like, I don't know, it seemed like when I had my daughter Hannah, when I gave birth, like I didn't cry. Even though like I can watch a Hallmark movie of somebody giving birth and I start bawling. So like, I don't know, maybe when you experience certain things, you don't cry the way that you think you would or whatever. But I don't know. So I wasn't. But then when I came home, it just hit. It was so this strangest, most shocking feeling of like it's over. Like those years are over. The chapter is closed. Doesn't mean I'm not a mom. It doesn't mean like our relationships, it's just going to keep developing. And like, we're so close. I'm so close with my daughters. But at the same time, it's completely different. Like they are not here. They do not live in this house anymore. This room I'm recording in used to be my daughter's bedroom, my older daughter. This used to be her bedroom. So I remember we came home and I was really, I felt shell shocked. Like I literally I needed a drink. I poured a glass of Gießen Sauvignon Blanc.
That's one of my faves.
It's one of my favorites. I poured it in my little, like a Kentucky Derby little wine tumbler thing that I have that I've only had mocktails in or, non-alcoholic stuff in. I didn't have it from my drinking days. So I have no drinking memories in that. That's kind of a tip. I feel like get new glasses, get new glassware, make new memories. So I took that, I took a bath and I felt it was like, okay, I have to I just need to like do something, but I'm not drinking. So I'm surfing the urge. I'm taking my drink and I'm going to take a bath. But I was really in shock. I was in a state of shock.
Yeah.
I really have been.
Right.
I don't know how else to describe it. That sounds so strange because this day is coming.
I appreciate that because it's so real because you're right. It's like you just there's so many layers to process it, I imagine, right? Like everything big in life. But when we hit these milestones with our kids, I think it comes up in layers. And like a lot of things in life, your feelings about it are probably going to sometimes pop up out of nowhere, right? Because it's going to be the times I would think, when you sit down to dinner and it's all of a sudden you're like, oh gosh, it's just my husband and I now.
Just us. Are we having fun? Are we having a good time?
Right. And like wondering what they're doing now and everything like that. Like you said, it's the duality of it too, right? Like, gosh, you're happy, right?
So happy for her.
You're grateful
so happy
and excited, but then it's also like
it's grieving.
It's grieving.
Yeah, it's grieving. It's grieving. That stage of life is over. I mean, and it's just, it is. So I know they all say, and they said it to me like, the days are long, but the years are short. It's so true. And it's hard. It's just hard to remember like, okay, like this nighttime, bedtime routine.
Right.
It feels like it drags on some nights, but it's like, it's such a joy. And, you look back on it and go, wow, it went so fast.
What if you could finally break free from the constant cycle of drinking, quitting, bargaining with yourself, and actually build a life that feels calm and clear and deeply aligned with who you want to be? I created the Alcohol-Free Blueprint for women who are ready to stop trying to moderate and start feeling confident and steady and fully present in their life again. This program isn't just about quitting drinking. It's about taking back your energy and your mindset and your wellness and your freedom. Inside the blueprint, I'll walk you step by step through the tools, mindset shifts, and support systems that actually help you change for good. You'll learn how to handle cravings, rebuild your habits, feel stronger in your body, and navigate all of life's ups and downs without alcohol. And you'll have full access to over 45 video lessons, journaling prompts, live coaching, and community support. So you never have to do this alone. One of my clients, let's call her Sarah, came to me after years of trying to control her drinking. She told me, I finally feel free. I'm not constantly thinking about drinking anymore. I have energy again, and I actually like myself. And that's just the kind of change we're after. Most of my clients are excited to no longer be a drinker after just 30 days inside the blueprint. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start living the life alcohol has been holding you back from, head to the link in the show notes or go find me over on Instagram. I would love to help you take this next step.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
I know just with my girls being teens already, and really once I quit drinking and trying to really solidify this, being like, you know what, if I don't quit drinking now, this is going to be the biggest regret of my life if I
Yeah.
give away more of our time together. Because it was the same way. It's like it had become such a commonplace for me to rush bedtime so I could get back down to the couch, fill my stupid wine glass to the point that it was almost spilling because I needed it like as full as possible.
Yeah.
Kissing my daughter goodnight, and she'd always be like, "Oh, your breath stinks like wine." And I kind of like laugh, or then I just ignore it. Like, I don't know why all of a sudden one day it was finally enough, but it was finally enough. And I thank
Yeah.
God for that, because it is like, as soon as I got a couple months and enough clarity,
Mm.
that became kind of my biggest why. It's like, I don't care how bad this craving is right now. I don't care how worried I am about date night or vacation. I don't want to give away one more second with these girls, with the
Yeah.
biggest blessing of my life. Like, because it's still my biggest regret. And I know, like, sometimes I talk about this and I'm like, God, I sound like I'm
Oh,
too fired up, or I don't ever want it to sound like guilt, right? Like I'm trying to like guilt other
no.
moms or something, but it's like the most like impassioned plea where I'm just like, you have no idea how much you are going to regret someday.
Yep.
The fact that you can't remember
Yep.
conversations you have with them
Yep.
or stuff like that. It's
Totally.
like my
Totally.
girls are
Yeah.
still at home, but I feel like I'm counting. I know what the shoe's going to drop, right? Like I know, I mean, aside from Dylan, which is a whole nother thing, but it's like,
Right.
I know
Right.
it's going to come
Yep.
someday. And I'm just like, now one of the biggest, probably the biggest peace of mind I have is that I get to be present for every single second that they're under my roof until they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's such a gift. And it's not guilt that you're putting out there. It's like
Yeah.
almost like you're standing there before the cliff and with the
Yes.
sign that says, make a U-turn. I'm just
Right.
telling you, just make a U-turn. It's for
Yep.
your own good. It's not
Yep.
it's not that the cliffs are horrible. It's that you don't want to go over it like I did,
Yeah.
with the regret of those
Yeah,
lost days. And
exactly. It's like
I have a
you
decade.
just wanna save people.
Yeah. Yeah. From what we went
Yeah,
through. Yeah. I have a
right? That's what I
decade
always
of
try to say.
fuzzy
It's like
memories.
I've done it that way. The way you're doing it, I did it for so long, and now I'm
Yep.
doing it this way, and it's like, I promise this is so much better.
So much
It's so
better.
much
You're right.
better
You're
for
right.
all of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So that night you came home, you got the good
Yeah.
glass of wine, you got in the bathtub. Like, what other things are you finding kind of help you when you need to move through some emotions, or you're just, trying to not get on with life like this is a terrible thing, but like, yeah, you're trying to, first of all, fill time.
Yeah.
Part of it's kind of your identity, right? You've got to figure out, what does this next chapter look like for you? So when you need some extra
Yep.
self-care and love, like, what other things are you turning to right now?
Yep. Friendships.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'm a total homebody. I
Yeah.
mean, really. And I work from home. I don't
Right.
like to leave my house. I like to be in Costco pajamas,
Oh
so
my
like
God.
I really am making an effort to get
Yeah.
together with friends. I know that sounds so silly, but honestly, like after
No.
2020, I just have kind of just been in my I just like to be home.
Yeah.
I have to get out more. It's healthier for my own mindset,
Yeah. I love
And
that.
looking at this chapter as a time for like intentional growth and
Right.
for new goals. Like I have new things that I want to be doing and getting excited about that and not looking at it as a time of loss, but really reframing it as like, okay, this is an exciting time. I'm
Right.
healthy. Like right now, like
Right.
I went through chemo at one point in my life. Like I'm healthy and I have time and energy at 3 o'clock. Lily's not coming in the door, which I miss. But at the same time, like if my husband doesn't get home till 6, I can work till 6 or I can do things.
Right.
So there's a
Right.
little bit of a freedom there that I
Yeah.
am enjoying.
Right.
I am enjoying it,
Well, I
which
love that
sounds
because
terrible to say because I
no,
do
but
miss them. I love
you're
them.
making the most of it,
I
because
am
sometimes
making the most of
that's it.
it.
It's like, we have a choice. Like, you could
I could sit here and
let
cry all day.
yes, you could let the heaviness and the sadness take over, and you
Yep.
could choose to just actually cultivate that and dig more into like, I'm so sad. This is so hard. What do I do now?
I can't.
Or you choose to put that energy someplace else.
Yeah.
And like you said, at the end of the day, it's like you're alive, you're healthy, your daughters are alive and healthy.
Seriously.
You're creating more things for you to talk about, right? You're going to have all these updates and all this stuff that you can tell them when you guys do get together and talk.
Yeah. And actually, we just went down. Well, they had parents' weekend. It was like 3 weeks in. I was like, this is perfect. So we went down after 3 weeks. We spent the weekend together. That was 2 weeks ago. And then like 5 days after that, it was my daughter's. It was Lily's 18th birthday. So I went back down just myself because it was a Monday. So I went down by myself and stayed overnight. And we all went to dinner and hung. Because my other daughter lives down in that same town too. So I got to see both my girls. They both live in the same town now. So
I love that.
Yeah. So good times. But yeah, just really trying to enjoy this time and not, reframing it. And we can do that with any time in our life.
Right?
Reframing, even when I was in the hospital with my daughter when she was so sick, like we made good memories. Like I have memories of eating Captain Crunch with her at 3 a.m. and like our wonderful night nurses. Like you can make the worst situation you can create moments of joy. You can.
Yes.
It's a choice.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it was like all fun and games. Like it was horrible.
Right.
But you can find time, you can make moments of joy in the midst of horribleness.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I mean, you're speaking my language there because I feel like that's what I say all the time when, like I said, people.
I mean, you deal with a lot.
It's like I deal with really crazy shit.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
I do.
Yes,
but
you
then
do.
it's like really most of the time now, I'm just like, God, but there are so many blessings we have in our life that we wouldn't have without Dylan. And that's what I see 9 times out of 10. Because I've trained myself to do that. Because I spent years doing the pity party, drowning my trauma and my grief and my sadness in alcohol because I thought I deserved that.
Yep.
But that didn't get me anywhere. It got me nowhere. It would have killed me if I would have kept doing that. And so now it's like, well, if I take all of that energy and just put it into finding the joy. Like you said, reframe it. And not at all. I always try to be clear, like not in a like toxic positivity, bullshit kind of way. Because I'm not about that. But in like you said, we do always have a choice. And sometimes it still might just be, you know what? I'm actually just really sad right now. Well, then I let myself be sad and I cry, but I don't build a house there for 6 months at a time.
You're exactly right. Absolutely. Like absolutely. I'm definitely not like, no Pollyanna, like everything's great. No, there's hard things in life.
Yeah.
And when I stopped drinking, my parents had been passed away for, I'm trying to think, maybe 3 years at that point.
Okay.
So they both passed away in the fall and like 11 months after, like my mom passed away and then 11 months later, my dad passed away. So like the fall is like the time of year.
Yeah.
The first fall when I wasn't drinking, it was like I really was dealing with my grief in a new way.
Right.
And I wasn't escaping it. You have to you have to go through it. You have to feel it.
Yep.
And so, it wasn't like happy times, I mean, I really felt it in a new way because I wasn't numbing out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
On the flip side though, I mean, are there gifts that you got from that, you think? Like whether it's just like perspective, wisdom, like I feel like the longer I'm sober, that's what I'm finding is like, the hard stuff sucks. And of course we wish that it didn't happen, but also I'm like, it's just life. Like there's never not going to be this hard stuff. And
totally,
when we get through it, there's always something that we can learn from it and
totally
that will serve us better as we keep moving forward.
Totally.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're going through life, it's like a, railroad track or whatever. And on one side, it's the best time of your life, something great's happening. And at the exact same moment, you have this horrible thing happening in your life. Like, it's not always like I'm in a great time or a hard time. Like, sometimes it's all happening at once. Like, can be a challenge. It is a challenge, right? Life is a challenge.
Yeah, but, right? Yeah. It is. It's just figuring out how to be okay with that duality. Like you just described it so perfectly and just recognizing that that's actually how a lot of life goes. Like very rarely is everything all good at the same time.
Yeah,
well, also
never.
very rarely is everything terrible. I mean,
you're exactly right.
Like,
right. But there's always
time.
something. There's always something to find, find joy in. So, yeah.
I love that.
Thank you, my friend.
I just love this conversation today. So where can people find you? Where is like the go-to place for people to come discover how awesome you are?
You're so sweet. my website, probably mocktailmom.com is my website. And I'm hosting a mocktail challenge, a 21-day mocktail challenge. So it's just for people to discover new alcohol-free drinks and the fun of not drinking.
I love
So
that.
that's coming up. And then I host a mocktail summit in January. So that's like just a fun, but that's all on the website, mocktailmom.com.
The website, yes, because people can find your book there. They can find your Instagram and your own podcast. Like you said in the beginning, you have a show, which I love because you do. It's light and it's fun. You just have people on and you talk about your favorite mocktails and hear a lot of other really inspirational stories. Like other people that have some people, didn't tumble down into a drinking problem the way we might have. Some people, it's a little bit easier where they're just like, oh no, I just decided this wasn't for me. And that's amazing. But yeah, the stories are always relatable.
Totally.
The drinks are always awesome. Like,
thank you.
You provided such an endless wealth of like awesomeness for people. I just love it.
Thank you. I just started doing on the podcast, Thriving Alcohol Free. I just started doing this year, like whatever, season 2, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
My first season, I never did a season. So like I just started podcasting and it was 120 episodes. And I was like, okay, I got to take a break. So I took a little break right before Lily went to college. I was like, I need to take a couple months off. And anyway, all that to say, we're in season 2 now after 120 episodes. And each episode now we're making a mocktail on the podcast and talking about their story. So that's been really fun. So each podcast episode, people walk away with a mocktail recipe and get to know somebody. So that's been really fun.
That's brilliant.
Anyway, so let's drink and we drink and talk. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love that.
So thanks, Shannon. Thank you for having me. Really, I love you, my friend.
I appreciate
You're such a
it.
gem.
So you guys, in the show notes, you can find everything. We'll have Deb's links there so you know where to go and find her and give her a follow. And any feedback, of course, always drop stuff in the comments and we're just grateful. I'm grateful you're here, Deb. And as always, friends, thanks for listening in. And I'll be back again next week with another episode of The Shannon McCabe Show.
That's it for today's episode. If this conversation resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. And if you're loving the show, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a quick review. It helps others find this message and start their own journey to freedom. Until next time, keep choosing yourself, keep believing in what's possible, and remember, you are so much stronger than you think.